See, only one topic is left according to our syllabus. We already done this one, limit and continuity, that is over. Probability, that is also taken by Chirag Trivedi sir, so that is also over. Mathematical expectation, that is over. It was taken by Desai madam, and this also taken by Desai madam. Let's discuss last part, that is moments. In that we have to study central moments, row moment, first four moments of discrete random variable, the formula showing the relation between central and row moments, then concept of skewness and kurtosis and its interpretation, and some examples based on unclassified data, classified data, and probability distribution. That is what we have to study in this topic. So, first thing, what is central moments and row moments? Central moments and row moments. Okay. Any of you know the formula of variance? Any of you know the formula of variance? Variance of x, v of x, variance of x. Any of you know the formula? What is the formula of variance of x? Any of you? Variance of x. Okay. Tell me, what is the formula of mean of x? X bar.
Sigma x upon n.
Sigma x upon n. Perfect. This is the formula of mean of x. Okay. Any of you know what is the answer for sigma x minus x bar?
Zero.
Correct. Answer of that is correct. Now tell me of x. Okay. If you want to calculate this, what to do? If you want to calculate this sigma x minus x bar, what to do? If we have different values of variable x, let us say there are 10 values. There are 10 values of x. And if I want to calculate sigma x minus x bar, what to do? First of all, we have to find out x bar. How to find out x bar? This is the formula. So add this all observation and divide by number of observation. That is very simple formula. You know that. Now, if you want to calculate x minus x bar, so what you have to do? You have to subtract this value x bar from each and every value of x. So we get some positive values, some negative values. Why? Because x bar is the average value. So here we get some positive value and some negative value. But if we add all that values, you will get always 0. So that is why sigma x bar is always 0. Okay. Now, because few values are positive, few values are negative, but if we take square of this, we get all positive values. And if we add this x minus x bar the whole square, if we make the total of this, and if we divide it by n, then it is known as variance. This is variance. So what is the formula of variance of x? Sigma x minus x bar the whole square upon n. So this is the formula of variance. Now if there is a question, instead of square, if we take cube and if we add all these values, any of you know the answer of that? Yes?
0, sir.
0.
Okay. So if you think that we get same answer 0, then you are not true. It is wrong. Not necessary. Every time we get 0. Here compulsory we get 0. Here we get something else. Not necessary 0. Maybe sometimes we get 0, but not always. Not always. So if we add this value x minus x bar the whole cube, and if we divide it by n, then we get something. What is the name of that? And if we take power 4 and if we add, then obviously it should not be 0. It should be some positive number. So x minus x bar raised to 4 upon n, then what is it? Okay. Now the question is, what is mean and variance? Why we have to calculate mean and variance? Any of you know the answer of that question? Why we have to calculate mean and variance? What is the reason to calculate mean and variance? What is the reason to calculate mean and variance? Any of you? Why we have to calculate mean? Means what is the use of mean and variance? Let us discuss in a different way. What is the use of mean and variance? What is the use of mean and variance? Okay, so if this is the question, now see how to give the answer of this question. Mean and variance are the measurement. One is a measurement of central tendency, another is a measurement of dispersion. Mean is one of the measurement of central tendency, variance is one of the measurement of dispersion. Now there are a number of measurement of central tendency like mean, median, mode, quartiles, deciles, harmonic mean, geometric mean, like that. Standard deviation, mean deviation, quartile deviation, range, variance, like that. Now, what is the use of central tendency? The same use is there for mean. What is the use of central tendency? Central tendency is nothing but one single value which represent your whole data. So there is one huge data, and if I want to give the idea about that data to any of the person by single number, then I require to calculate any of the measurement of central tendency, and one of the measurement is best measurement is mean. So what is use of mean? mean is required to use when we want to describe whole data in a single number. So that is the use of mean. Let us take one small example. If we have an idea about the score done by any of the cricketer in his last 100 matches. So we have a score of last 100 matches of any of the batsmen. Let us say in one he done 38, 73, 109, 8, 7, 2, like that. We have a information for 100 matches. So we have information about 100 matches. Now I want to describe that particular batsman. Now there is also one another batsman, and we also know the information about 100 matches of this batsman. And now I want to know which one is the uh, good batsman out of these two. Which one is the better one? How can we do check that thing? Or just forget this. I want to know what is the performance of this batsman. I don't want to look at each and every value, 100 values every time. What we have to do? Obviously find out average. So that is nothing but your X bar. Here also you can find out average. So that is what average score. That is your X bar, average score. Now the question is, if you want to know which one is the more consistent batsman out of these two, which one is the more consistent batsman, any of you know what to do? If I want to know, yeah.
Average.
Once again, sorry.
By comparing their averages.
Average. This is the average. If I want to know the consistency of the batsman, what to do? Consistency of the batsman. Average of this particular batsman is 60 runs, and this one is average of this is 61 runs. Now on the basis of this I can say that this one is better one because he scored average 61 runs. Here this person scored 60, so this one is better person or better batsman because his average score is higher than this. But my question is, which one is the more consistent batsman? How to know that thing? Consistency. See, maybe let us take two values only. The average is 60, but he score, let us say in one match 10 and in other one 110. So his average is 60. Whereas this person score 63 in one and 59 in another one, and average is 61. So which one is more consistent? On which batsman on which you rely more? Which batsman you rely more? First one or second one?
Second.
Second one, obviously. Why? What is the reason? What is the reason?
Consistency.
Consistency. But how can you know that he is more consistent? Question. How you know that he is more consistent? Second one is more, but on basis of what?
Score.
Yeah, here also score is there. So what we have to look? हमको क्या देखना
Difference
चाहिए?
between
Different.
Yes, difference. So you have to see the difference here, and you have to see the difference. What is that difference? That is x minus x bar. But if we subtract here 10 minus 60 minus 50, and here we get plus 50, so the total of that difference of that should be 0 here. Here also the difference is minus 2 and plus 2, difference is 2 and minus 2, so difference of that is 0. So difference total of that is 0. So we require something else, and that is why we require to take the square. To remove this negative sign, we have to take square, and if we take square, we get here this and this. So if we take square of that, and then after if we divide it by number of observation, we get variance. So on the basis of variance, we know the consistency of the data. Consistency. So these are the two measurements to study your data. To study your data, there are two measurements that you know very well. Here in this topic moments, you have to study another two measurements of the data. So to know your data properly, that means information properly, you require to study four characteristics. You require to study four characteristics. One is measurement of central tendency, dispersion, skewness, and kurtosis. And to calculate this, we require to use moments. So to know the data properly, means to study the data properly, we require these four measurements, and to calculate this four measurement, we have to use. Okay, now let us start. Moments. There are two type of moments. One is row moments, other one is central moments. Let us discuss. Okay, row moments is denoted by, we have to study four moments. So mu1 dash, mu2 dash, mu3 dash, mu4 dash. And here it is denoted by mu1, mu2, mu3 and mu4. So central moments are denoted by mu1, mu2, mu4. Row moments are denoted by mu1 dash, mu2 dash, mu3 dash, mu4 dash. This is the symbol. Now, what is mu1? So mu1 is like this, sigma x minus x bar upon n. Mu2, sigma x minus x bar the whole square upon n. Mu3, obviously sigma x minus x bar cube upon n. And mu4, that is sigma x minus x bar raised to 4 upon n. So these are four central moments. Do you know what is the value of mu1? Numerator is 0, 0 by anything is 0. So always mu1 is 0. Always mu1 is 0. What is mu2? Nothing but variance. Mu3 and mu4, that we have to use to calculate skewness and kurtosis. But mu3 is not skewness and mu4 is not kurtosis. We have to use that one. So you can say that variance is second central moment. So mu3 is third central moment. And mu4 is fourth central moment. So now the question is, what is mu1 dash? It is first row moment. First row moment. Now see, if I want to calculate mu3, so first of all we have to calculate x bar, and then we have to subtract x bar from different values of x, and then we have to take its cube. But sometimes what will happen, our x bar is not in integer, it is in fraction. So in that case it is slightly difficult to calculate this x minus x bar whole cube. No doubt with the help of calculator you can calculate it, but always there is a round of error, because if your x bar is, let us say, 100 divided by 3 sigma, there are 3 observation and total of that 3 observation is 100, so 100 divided by 3 we get 33.333333. this is actual value. Now if we take round of value 33.33 or 33.3, whatever, always there is a round of error. Instead of using all these values, if we use only this value or this value, and if we subtract that from your x bar, and then after if you take cube, always there is a round of error, and sometimes that round of error becomes too much big and we get a different answer. So to avoid that, it's better to subtract 33 instead of 33. And that is known as what? Assume mean. That is known as what? Assume mean. So instead of subtracting actual mean, we have to subtract assume mean. And if we subtract assume mean, then it becomes row moments. So what is the formula of mu1 dash? The formula is sigma x minus x bar in, or you can write simply sigma di or sigma d upon n. Either you can write sigma di or sigma d upon n. So what is mu2 dash? Simply sigma x minus a the whole square upon n, or you can write sigma d square upon n. Mu3 dash, sigma x minus a whole cube upon n, or sigma d cube upon n. And mu4 dash, that is sigma x minus a raised to 4 upon n, or you can write sigma d raised to 4 upon n, where a equal to assume mean, and here we have to use actual mean. X bar is actual mean and a is assume mean. So if we use assume mean, then it is known as row moments, and if we use actual mean, then it is known as central moments. So now the question is, why we have to calculate row moments? The answer is to calculate central moment easily. So there is some relationship between row moments and central moment. So by using row moments, we are able to find out central moment. Now the question is how? See, that is our, see, what is central moment, what is row moment, that we already discussed for this discrete random variable. Now formula showing the relationship between row moments and central moments. So let us discuss that one, and that is not the proof of that is not in our syllabus. So we have to just learn this formula. So mu1, we know that there is no need for using row moments. Mu1 is always 0. Mu1 is always 0. Now mu2, that is variance. Okay, so if you remember, there is a formula for variance. No need to write root when there is a variance. Sigma x minus x bar the whole square upon n. Any of you know another form of variance formula, another form of this variance?
sigma x square minus sigma whole root x मतलब x whole square
Sigma x square upon n
no
minus
minus sigma whole square
sigma
x whole square.
x upon n the whole square. Yes, you are right. Now let us assume your a equal to 0. Assume mean is 0. So e power assume mean is 0. Can you tell me what is the formula of mu1 dash? If your assume mean is 0, if your assume mean is 0, what is the formula of mu1 dash? Means if a is 0, what is mu1 dash?
So sigma x upon n.
Correct, sigma x upon n. And what is mu2 dash? Mu
Sigma x square upon
Square upon n.
Correct, sigma x square upon n. So this sigma x square upon n, this sigma x square upon n, you can write as mu2 dash by taking a equal to 0. And sigma x upon n, you can write mu1 dash. So this is mu1 dash whole square, and that is nothing but the formula of mu2. But now you have to learn this. So what is the formula of mu2? Mu2 is mu2 dash minus mu1 dash the whole square. So mu2 is mu2 dash minus mu1 dash the whole square. Similarly, by using mu3 dash, you can calculate mu3. By using mu3 dash, you can calculate mu3. There is a formula. Mu3 equal to mu3 dash minus 3 into mu2 dash into mu1 dash plus 2 times mu1 dash cube. This is the formula of mu3. Once again, what is the formula of mu3? Mu3 dash minus 3 times mu2 dash into mu1 dash plus 2 times mu1 dash the whole cube. And similarly, there is a formula of mu4. The formula of mu4 is mu4 dash minus 4 times mu3 dash into mu1 dash plus 6 times mu2 dash into mu1 dash square minus 3 times mu1 dash raised to 4. So this formula you have to learn. So on the basis of row data, you can calculate means on the basis of row moments, you can calculate central moments. So by using mu1 dash, mu2 dash, mu3 dash, mu4 dash, you can calculate the value of mu2, mu3 and mu4, and this is the relationship between row moments and central moments. This formula you have to learn. So what you require to do, listen, if you have different values of x, then add this sigma x, then take square of that and add this, then take cube of that and add this, and take x raised to 4, find out x raised to 4 and add all that. Now divide this by n, divide this by n, divide this by n, divide this by n. So you will get mu1 dash, mu2 dash, mu3 dash and mu4 dash. And once we have mu1 dash, mu2 dash, mu3 dash, mu4 dash, you can calculate mu1, mu2, mu3 and mu4 easily by using the formula. What is the formula of mu1? Always 0. Mu2, mu2 dash minus mu1 dash square. Mu3, mu3 dash minus 3 times mu2 dash into mu1 dash plus 2 times mu1 dash raised to 3. And what is the formula of mu4? mu 4 dash dash plus 6 mu 2 dash into mu 1 dash square minus 3 times mu 1 dash raised to 4. Use this formula to calculate mu 1, mu 2, mu 3 and mu 4, and once we have mu 1, mu 2, mu 3, mu 4, it is possible to find out skewness and kurtosis. And if we know the value of skewness and kurtosis, then we can analyze our data more properly. Instead of only two measurement of central tendency and dispersion, if we use 4 measurement, we get better idea about our data. So how to calculate skewness and kurtosis, that we will discuss in our next lecture. So this is enough for today. If you have any doubt, you can ask your doubt.